Even if you're not a federal worker yourself, some of the services you want and need could be impacted if the government shuts down, and Maryland's economy could be impacted. Keep in mind, Maryland has already lost over 15,000 jobs, federal jobs those are, since January. Federal workers and people who work for government contractors worry more people could lose their jobs. A message of fear from a federal worker. A NOAA employee living in Maryland who wished to remain anonymous texted me saying, quote, "Being permanently fired as part of the shutdown would be devastating. We would stop spending all money and potentially be forced to leave the area." Benita Williams, who works for a federal government contractor, worries too.
I will be impacted really hard because I have kids. I have 5 kids, and most of them work for the federal government. I will be impacted by it because I will be the only one working if they don't lay me off too.
Our office has heard overwhelmingly from federal employees because they've lost their jobs or because they're in fear of losing their jobs.
Typically in a shutdown, when the government reopens, federal employees get paid back because they have nothing to do with the cause of the shutdown. Now we have the Trump administration engaging in mafia-style blackmail, where they're threatening to fire certain federal employees.
It comes as Maryland has already lost 15,100 jobs since the start of the year and 2,500 in August alone.
Maryland would get a double whammy in terms of negative impact from Trump's continued cruelty. We've been leading the nation in terms of job losses as a result of DOGE and President Trump's cuts.
But Congressman Johnny Olszewski and Senator Chris Van Hollen say they're determined to avoid more cuts and work across the aisle to stop a government shutdown while standing firm on Maryland's priorities.
We're deeply concerned about the health care cuts that are on the horizon that will drive up costs by hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for Marylanders and Americans. And we're deeply concerned about critical projects like the Key Bridge.
And Maryland's only Republican Congressman Andy Harris sent 11 News a statement saying in part, quote, "Given the number of federal workers that would be furloughed in the event of a government shutdown, I'm surprised I was the only member of the Maryland delegation that voted to keep the government open. Democrats preach about their care for federal workers, but their actions speak louder than their words." He added that he stands with the president and against Democrats demanding $1.5 trillion in what he calls unrelated spending demands. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Brianna Ross.